It really is a lot of common sense in that, though. You say, well, it can't work, it won't happen. Well, which part won't work? Which part won't happen? That America will cut you a better deal as African Americans and incorporate you as Americans. Always throwing Afro in that motherfucker somewhere, or that you can get your ass to Africa in large numbers, so to the point where you can like, well, we got people over there and they're like colonizing, for lack of a better term, colonizing some land over there and making it happen so that they can, you know, sensibly incorporate more and more African Americans over there and assimilate them into the program, you know, rather than everybody just getting up and saying, let's fucking get up on a fucking ship and head on out there. And you make it fucking sweet for Africa, make a sweet deal for Africa. You know, what is it that you can't believe they have? Like right now, let's say Linux, is it Linux? It's Linux, well, Microsoft and Macintosh. They've got a monopoly out here. If it weren't for them having a little bit of this and a little bit of that at least the three out there. Yeah. Imagine that, just one out there saying, like, I control all this shit. You have no options for anything except for Macintosh. That's kind of the pickle you're in right now because you don't have a dual citizenship. Well, some people do, you know, but they're not the norm. What if everybody had access to a dual citizenship? And maybe you fucking feel like it's sweeter for you to be in Africa because you got a better deal going in Africa than you have in America. Now you're spending most of this and most of that in Africa than you are in America. Your efforts and everything else, your energy. It's like right now, for some reason, YouTube could have something to do because they're incorporated with Google. Let's say you have nothing other than fucking Google Chrome. I was gonna talk about YouTube and stuff, or like a monopoly out there. They're the main ones out there that you go to for uploading videos and shit like that. When it comes to certain things, you know, certain videos and certain kind of career paths or whatever it is you want to take, you go to YouTube. What if you had an option out there? What if you have options that were more viable, you know, very viable? Like, oh, that's attractive. Now, fuck YouTube. Let's go over there. And all of a sudden, YouTube may want to ask, well, what are we doing over here that makes you like that? Where do you want to go? It's like when TikTok came out with the shorts, or TikTok style. They didn't call them shorts over there. YouTube said, well, let's come out with YouTube shorts because a lot of our business is going over to TikTok, you know, for the entertainment factor, whatever factor it was that made it so successful, you know. So if you have but one option, then that leaves you at a what do you call it? A disadvantage. You know, like let's say I have one option, that is to go out there and box, to be a boxer. That's it. Get my brain stoved in and try to stove in somebody else's head. I can't just say, well, fuck all this shit. This is getting too crazy. Let me go and just do some shit that I fucking figured out how to do in Harvard. When I attended Harvard and got a fucking degree at Harvard. So the more options you have, the better. And a lot of African Americans don't really have a whole lot of options. They're in a country where they have really no call, no say about it. Like sales, they do a lot of shit. We do a lot of shit and get proactive here and so on and so forth. But they stove fucking what's his name? That was in the '90s, and they stoved his head in. Rodney King said, "Why are you gonna bring that shit up again?" Even blacks, I don't want to hear about that shit. That's dead news. But it's fucking real news. It happens all the time, except for it doesn't make Rodney King fucking headlines. You know, it's like an isolated case, you know, for the most part. But this shit, kind of shit happens all the time, man. And you want to say something about it and do something about it, but what can you do? Do a lot. Huh? I guess you can. You can do a lot more. When you tell these motherfuckers, look, man, we have options, bro. And we're African Americans. Well, we're also Africans then. Fucking, we got Africa acknowledges that now. So if your solution to African America is to have the majority of us locked up in your prisons, and really, as a statistic, headed that way, and more coming, because the cards were stacked against us, and from all the fucking reasons. Well, that's on you. You say but it's a trick. It really is. Like right now, if I'm born in East St. Louis, Illinois, that's the trick. If I'm born in the South Side of Chicago, that's the trick. If I'm born in fucking Compton, that's the trick. Just because where you're born at. You say, well, we got whites being born in trailers. Okay, that's the trick then. Trailer parks, then that's the trick. You don't just want to make it a white and black thing, right? Throw the rest of them in there. The spics, the chinks. This is for educational purposes, you two. You know? What is your culture? That makes a difference as well. Where does your culture come from? Shit. Came from America. It's like everything else you got is African American. Came from America. Is that the best culture? Maybe it is.